Hey, this is Matt from InvestiQuant. Today is Wednesday, December 9th, 2020. And this morning when I was going through the bias alerts section here in the platform, if you're not aware of what bias alerts are, these are alerts that are built into our platform to give you ideas to look at on a daily basis. But the ones that I was looking at this morning were for the S&P, and when I was isolating it down to the ones that trigger at the open when gapping up, since we've been pushing higher in the overnight session, I saw two results here. One of them that doesn't happen very often. It's a unique pattern, but it's pretty interesting, so I figured I would show that to you today. And that pattern is an outside day that closes at a 50-day high followed by a gap up. So this is a strong day that gets some continuation into the overnight session, and that is this top pattern here. So it is currently forming right now as I speak and record this video. And the only thing that needs to happen for this pattern to be true is at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time, we need to be opening above yesterday's close. So let me go ahead and load this into Discover, show you the results, explain it a little bit more. So this is a short bias when you have a bullish outside day that closes at a 50-day high close, followed by an up gap. And then the results are based upon entering the market long at 9:30 a.m. Eastern time and exiting at the close 4:15 p.m. Eastern time. Historically, it's happened 32 times, so this doesn't happen very often. It's pretty unique. But when it has happened, the 32 times that it has happened, it has not been a very bullish pattern. In fact, just 38% of those have closed above the open for that day, and on average, the moves to the downside, which are more frequent than the moves to the upside, the moves to the downside have been larger than the average moves to the upside. So this has had a bit of a short bias to this pattern historically. And you know, there's other ways that you can look at this pattern. In fact, one that I wanted to share with you as well is if I come to the symbols and settings, I can take this short bias and then turn it into a little bit more of an intraday trade instead of just looking at an end of day bias like this is showing us. But if I come in here, I can turn this into what we call a gap fade trade. And a gap fade is where you fade the open and trade back towards, or target back towards, the prior day close. So since this is based upon gapping up, a fade would be going short at the open. And then if I go into the exit, I can change the stop and target, and I can use the target as the prior day closing price. So that's what we consider it, a gap fade trade. You're gapping up, you would go short, your target would be at the prior day close, and we can throw a stop on here. I'll pick a medium size stop. I'll do 40% of the 5-day ATR for the stop, and then click view results. And here we go. These are the results of shorting an up gap the day after a bullish outside day that closes at a 50-day high close. And in this scenario, the stop is set at 40% of the 5-day ATR. The target is the prior day closing price, which 37.01 quarter is the prior day closing price in the S&P. And historically, you can see the results here, quite strong. Win rate up at 84%. On 32 samples. So it's been a pretty favorable pattern. Now you can go in and play around with the stop size. 40% of a stop might be a little bit large for some of you guys, but you can adjust that in the exit section to see a tighter stop if you want, or play around with a couple different patterns or a couple different setups for taking advantage of that short bias off the open. But I figured I would share this one with you as I thought it was interesting and might be in play this morning. So hopefully you found this helpful. Good luck today, and we'll see you next time.